Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Robbie with me. We've just lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest here at the City Stadium. Rob, we heard fans say it feels like the players were on the beach, couldn't break them down. Arteta got it all wrong today. What happened today, Rob? It's such a bad way to end this.
Every single one of those things that you just said is true. You know, what a way the season's just fizzled out. The one thing I said, right, is that, you know, once we knew that City were going to win the league and we just all said, right, the one thing we want to see from Arsenal is don't let it just fizzle out. We've been so good this season. You know, let's fight down till the end. You know what I mean? And they haven't. You know what I mean? Last week, you know, we come up against a team that wanted it more in Brighton. They had a lot to play for. They want to get into Europe. So, you know, I mean, you saw them fighting for everything. We weren't, right? And we lost that one. And then again today, it's the same thing again. You know what I mean? We come up against a team that knew that, you know, they wanted to get these 3 points to stay in the league. They had loads of things to fight for. We were playing for pride, and I'm not going to turn around and say that we didn't put an effort in. We did put an effort in. We did try, but it was just a very flat, poor performance, and a performance of a team that knows that the league is gone, and just really, it's just fizzled out. It's just fizzled out, and it's really disappointing to fizzle out that way, because it's been such an outstanding season for us. So for it to end like this, you just think, come on, man. You know what I mean? But I'm also going to give a lot of credit to Nottingham Forest as well. You know what I mean? The atmosphere in there was incredible today. And from both sets of fans, I thought the Arsenal fans were brilliant as well, to be fair, even though we didn't play well. But I thought the Forest fans, they were brilliant. They were right behind their team. They knew what it meant for them.
Game plan was spot on from them as well.
Their game plan was spot on. I mean, let's be real, they parked the bus. It was all long throws. It was Stoke, you know, of about 6-7 years ago. But that's what was needed by them, and it worked. You know what I mean? And, they never once pressed us in our box. They just had banks of four, just stayed in their box. And then when we got in their box, they pressed us then, tried to win the ball back, tried to look for a mistake. We made one mistake with Odegaard. They pounced on it, punished it, and then after that, they just said, right, come and break us down, and we didn't. I don't remember no shots. I think there's one shot, I think from Jorginho or someone. We were just passing the ball around. You know what I mean? It was no intensity. And then also, like you just said, I don't know what formation we was playing today. Kivior, where was he playing? Where was Partey playing? Was he playing as a right back? It was weird. It was just like an experiment. An experiment that went horribly wrong. I was like, who's playing where? And what's Tierney done? I heard Kelechi saying, and I agree with him, what has Kieran Tierney done that we're in the second to last game of the season and he can't even start this game? And then when he came on, he looked lively, you know what I mean? And he got a few crosses in, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with getting crosses into the box. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be inverted through the middle, you know what I mean? So I just felt today was really flat, a real anticlimax. Not a true reflection of how the season's been, especially away from home, and just a really disappointing end to what's been a fantastic season, but it's just fizzled out.
Robbie, do you think anything's going on internally at Arsenal that we're not being made privy to? Like the Kieran Tierney thing, that's a good example. Reece Nelson is told he goes out for illness today, but you know, he's been offered a third contract, hasn't signed it yet. Like, do you think?
Well, I'm hearing that Reece is near to signing, is what I've been hearing, right? And I've heard that from a very good source that he's near to signing. So let's hope that, you know, that comes true and that gets done, because I was surprised when I didn't even see him on the bench today. So now you've cleared that up, that he was ill, because to me, I said it last week. Now, I don't know if, you know, I sort of changed my mind a little bit as the week went, but I was saying that I'll just change up the whole thing. I said it last week. This game don't really mean that much to Arsenal because the league is done.
We shouldn't be doing it, but then that shows like they're on the beach. That's the on the beach thing. No.
But when I say change it up, put some players in that are going to be a bit more hungry. You know, like if Fabio Vieira come in, he looked a little bit more livelier than some of the other players that were on the pitch, right? So did Tierney. You know what I mean? Kozia Dewberry. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have minded seeing some of those guys today. Smith Rowe. Start with those guys. I wouldn't have minded seeing some of them today. I ain't going to lie to you. And I said this from last week, because it's over. You know what I mean? City had 3 games to win it. Right? So even if they messed up against Chelsea, which, by the way, that's like playing a bottom of the league team, right? They're not going to mess up against Chelsea. But even if they mess up against Chelsea, they've got 3 more games in which to win it. They're going to, even just, you know, they were going to get it, right? So switch it up a bit. But it's a real anticlimax. It's a real, you know, it's fizzled out. You know what I mean? And now, I just feel like, you know, just let's, you know, next week. To be fair,
if he mixes up, then are you going to be annoyed if he throws in?
Do you know what? Right, next week, last game of the season at home against Wolves. I want every fan to turn out there and really, really give a big send off, or you know, what I say send off, but give this team a big respect for the season. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's been an incredible season. We've done brilliantly this year. We finished second. We weren't good enough to get over the line. Hopefully in the summer they learn from the mistakes, they bring in the right players that we need. But for this season, I think we have to be grateful for what we've seen throughout the season. This game and last week has not been a true reflection of this season. Those players, like you said it at the start, they look like they're on the beach. They look like, you know, because to be on the beach in this league, all you got to do is drop a couple of %. And then you're coming up against a team that's fighting, giving 110%. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. If we'd have played Forest probably a couple of months ago, we come here 3-4-0, right? But there's nothing to play for. It's done. It's dusted. And congratulations to Forest.
It's a hard place to come, City ground. Let's be real.
You know what?
City, remember, don't forget, City drew. I think Liverpool dropped points also.
Liverpool dropped points there. City dropped points there. You know what I mean? And you can see why. It's a tight pitch.
Yeah.
They've got some good players, by the way. They're not just some rubbishy team. They've got a good player, got a good manager. Yep. They've got a game plan, and their game plan worked today. And you know, well done to them for staying up. They stuck with their manager. They didn't just go sack like a lot of teams have done. Tottenham included. Right? They stuck with their manager, and he's come through for them. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of, even though I'm hurting at the moment that it's against us that they've got the points, but I'm kind of glad that they've stayed up. You know what I mean? Because I think this is a proper football club. I think this is a real football club. I grew up, you know, when Nottingham Forest were winning things with Brian Clough and all that. I'm old enough to remember those days. You know what I mean? This is a big club. I know for a lot of people, because they've been out of for so long, they don't really recognise this. They may be looking at this as some small club. It's not. They've won a European Cup before. You know what I mean? So this is a big club that deserves to be in the Premier League. And you know, like you said, you're beating them type of teams that they beat. They deserve to be here. But disappointing today. They came to the Emirates. We beat them 5-0, and then we've come here today now, and we've been off it. And you know, they've managed to beat us, and that's 2 defeats in a row. And that's not the way to finish the season, which has been so good. So. Next week I'll be there, and you'll be there, and everybody who's been coming on here will be there, I'm sure, and we'll be there. And I want everybody to give this team a big send off and say, well done, thank you for this season. It was an incredible season. I saw Aaron Ramsdale's dad earlier, and I said to him, I go, you know what I mean, you can say to your son, man, he's been brilliant this season. You know what I mean? And all the team, they've had a fantastic season. They've been brilliant this season. They've given us some great memories, some great games. We didn't get over the line, but great, we challenged. We could be back next year with a strong foundation, and we're going to be in the Champions League, and there's a lot to look forward to. And in the summer,
spend Edu,
Edu, you know what I mean? Go knocking on those Cronky's door, man. Get them to get the checkbook out.
Get the money.
Declan Rice, I'd get Caicedo as well.
Both.
Right? Look at the areas where we've been, you know, I think in defence, we could do with some more as well.
After today, you know bloody hell,
the defence, we need more. I think, you know, just all around the team. We're in the Champions League now. We're in the Champions League. We've got to have a very good squad. You know what I mean? City have had that ability to rotate their squad all throughout the season. We haven't. Right? Saka's had to play literally, you know what I mean? We've had to flog this guy every game till the end of the season. Same with Granit Xhaka. So, yeah, let's go away. They can go on the beach after next week. Chill out, refresh, come back, and let's win the league next year.
Don't forget, the Invincible podcast is coming to you live.
It's going to be taking place at the Islington Assembly Hall on Tuesday, the 23rd of May. Tickets are available right now. Click the link and get involved now.
Come and join us.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.